Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. This is a public meeting, and today we have one letting and one hearing. So we will handle the letting at this time. So Helen, when you are ready to read the bids, go right ahead.
Okay. Still uploading.
Fee invoice. That's what I thought. Oh, so if they can do this.
We are ready. We are opening bids for letting 8780, excuse me, concrete and brick removal / replacement and complete sidewalk installation, project number SP121. We have 3 bids. First bid, Superior Industrial Coatings, DBA, SIC Concrete. Do you want me to spell that, Rich? SUPERIOR, Industrial Coatings, DBA, SIC Concrete. Total bid amount is $1,075,846.60. That's 075-486.60. Number 2, TPC Infrastructure Group LLC, TPC Infrastructure INFRA, STRUC TURE Group. Total bid amount is $486,486.50. I apologize, that's 763 I'm sorry. Let's start that over. 763-486.50. That's $763,486.50. And last, we have Sticker Brothers Cement Contractor, STIKA Brothers Cement Contractor. Total bid amount is $868,574. That's 868,574.00. And those are the bids.
Thank you, Helen.
You're welcome.
At this time, we will handle hearing numbered 130808 RH. Hearing number 130808-RH. This is a continuation of hearing number 130808-RH, which is being conducted pursuant to section 26.100.030 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether to revoke the conditional use permit numbered as 130808-RH issued for Sam's Southern Eatery, CO Zachariah Alfarsi, to occupy 3505 Gravois Avenue to operate an existing carry-out sit-down restaurant, adding a convenience store with no outside seating and no liquor. The parties have been notified of the violations of the conditions of this conditional use permit in writing by certified mail, along with the posted notice of today's hearing date. This board tabled its decision for 60 days after finding violations of conditions number 4, 12, 13, 15, and 17, which are as follows. Condition 4, there shall be no sales of tobacco products. Condition 12, any signage for which there are no permits on file must be removed within 60 days unless required permits are applied for and received for them. Condition 13, the petitioner must apply for and receive a permit from the City of St. Louis Zoning Division before posting signage, and the signage must be professionally prepared and approved by the Office of Zoning Administrator before being installed. Condition 15, all windows and doors must have no boards, mesh, grates, materials, or coverings of any kind. And condition 17, the premise shall not be issued a public nuisance notice pursuant to ordinance 68535 or its successor ordinances. The Office of Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all evidence of the zoning administrator has been presented, the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of the revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given the opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. The testimony today is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and address and be sworn in by the secretary. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following the hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the conditional use holder of its decision by mail in 2 weeks. In addition to the materials introduced on October 1st, 2024 hearing, the Board of Public Service had in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a letter dated October 2nd, 2024, sent to Sam's Southern Eatery, CO Zachariah Alfarsi, 3505 Gravois Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63118, from the board secretary giving notice of the continuation of the hearing until December 3rd, 2024. Item 2, a letter dated October 2nd, 2024, sent to Amir Seafood, CO Zachariah Alfarsi, 3505 Gravois Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63118, from the board secretary giving notice of the continuation hearing until December 3rd, 2024. Item 3, a letter dated October 2nd, 2024, sent to PLT09 LLC CO Liang Tong Pan at 608 Autumn Avenue, Collinsville, Illinois, 62234, from the board secretary giving notice of the continuation of the hearing until December 3rd, 2024. Item 4, photographs of the notices of today's hearing posted outside 3505 Gravois Avenue. Item 5, a copy of the public notice posted for today's hearing in the City Journal on November 26, 2024 and December 3rd, 2024. And item 6, a December 2nd, 2024 memorandum from Sandra Long and Andrea Gutierrez to Mary Hart Burton, zoning administrator, regarding conditions at the property on that same date with the accompanying photos. At this time, the board asks that the representative of the Office of Zoning Administrator please come forward and be sworn in.
Raise your right hand, please. Thank you. The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and title for the board.
Sandra Long, zoning plan examiner.
Can you please tell the board about the conditions and which conditions still stand in question today?
So at my site visit yesterday, I found 2 violations. One for number 4, there shall be no sales of tobacco products. Although they got rid of all their vapes and tobacco, they still have one-hitter pipes and bongs, and they do have hookah supplies, but I don't know if that's considered tobacco. I don't think so. And number 15, all windows and doors must have no boards, mesh grates, materials, etc. covering it. They have the gaming machines that they have on the inside pushed up against the windows, blocking the windows so the police can't see inside of it, I guess. That's why they like to have it open so the officers can see inside.
Okay. So just to be clear, they've cleared up all the other violations except for number 4, some tobacco products, and number 15, blocking the windows with a gaming machine, correct?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for any questions for Ms. Long from any of our board directors. Seeing, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have a question. The gaming machines that you observed recently, are they in the same position as they were previously, or have they been moved, or?
I believe they're all in the same position. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Other questions from our board members? Seeing none. Thank you very much, Ms. Long. At this time, if there's anyone else present who wishes to testify the noted conditions have not been complied with and you are in support of this revocation, please come forward and be sworn in. Anyone in support of the revocation that wishes to testify? So at this time, I don't see anyone else on the screen. I don't see anyone in the chat. Michelle, I know there's a gentleman in the room with you. Is he here to testify?
No, he's not.
Okay. So I have someone who has raised their hand. Chelsea Murta has raised her hand. Can you, STL TV, allow her to speak?
Hi, I'm Alderwoman Sonier's legislative assistant, and I think she has some comments that she wants to make as well.
Okay, is she available to be sworn in?
Yes, her hand is raised, she said.
Okay, go right ahead, Michelle.
Thank you. The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I'm sorry if that was unclear. Alderwoman Sonier is waiting to be let into the room.
Hey, thank you.
I do.
STL TV, can you let Alderwoman Saunier into the meeting?
Can you guys hear me, see me?
Yes, I do. Alderwoman, could you please raise your hand and be sworn in for us, please?
Yes.
The
Go ahead,
testimony,
Michelle.
the testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please.
Go right ahead, Alderwoman.
Board.
Thank you. I know that you all received a letter from the Tower Grove East Neighborhood Association. They actually sent that over because I alerted them that this business was going through the process. Both myself and the neighborhood are opposed to this. There's just been a number of continuous nuisance issues. We had a quadruple shooting on this property. There's been very little action taken to address any of the concerns. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was here today, to make sure that you knew that I was opposed, as well as the neighborhood organization is opposed to their request for today. And there's been like no communication with the neighborhood or with my office, despite the number of nuisance issues, in particular is the quadruple shooting that happened, but there's been a number of continual issues that have happened and have not been addressed, and no communication has happened.
Okay, thank you, Alderwoman. At this time, I'd like to open the floor up for any questions for Alderwoman Sanye from any of our board members. Seeing none, thank you so much for your time today, Alderwoman.
Thank you all for having me.
Yes, ma'am. At this time, if there's anyone else present who wishes to testify that the noted conditions have not been complied with and you are supporting this revocation and you wish to testify, please bring it to my attention at this time. I do not see anybody else on the chat. I do not see anyone else on the screen. And Michelle, you indicated the gentleman with you is not here to testify. One more time, if you are supporting this revocation, please bring it to my attention now if you wish to testify. Seeing none. At this time, the board asks the conditional use permit holder to please come forward and be sworn in. And Mr. Farsi, if you have your camera, if you can turn that on, please. Mr. El Farsi, are you with us today? I see you on the screen. STL-TV, does he have the ability to speak?
Yeah, he just needs to turn on his mic, turn on his camera.
Okay, can you turn on your camera, please, Mr. El Farsi?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, can you please turn on your camera?
Yes, I'm trying to turn it on.
Should be at the bottom of your screen on the left hand. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, please swear him in, Michelle. Please raise your right hand.
The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I swear.
Thank you. Please
You're
state your name and address for the board.
Yeah, my name is Zachariah El Farsi, address 3505 Gravois Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, sir, please feel free to address the board.
Yeah, so I did all the violations. So about the gaming machines, back then it used to be like a long, like a gambling machine, which was blocking the whole windows. So the gentlemen who bring those machines, they change it to like a really small ones you can see from the windows. I can send pictures. You can see like a half window blocking. Then I removed all the boards from the doors, from the windows, so all the tobacco. I still have some glass, which is like glass pipe and a hookah, like hookah glass. So I did not know that's gonna like a tobacco product's gonna be a problem because I don't like it's not like a tobacco I sold. And I removed completely, like removed all the tobacco. I don't sell no tobacco anymore. Since the hearing we had, we stopped it completely. And about, because Mr. Lang, the old woman, she said something about the shooting. So all I want to say about the shooting, it wasn't my fault at all. So a lot of people, they don't know the situation, what happened exactly. What happened was a lady, she came inside the store, she ordered her food, and she walked outside to her car with her boyfriend. Somebody already was following those people, and they was attacking them for like a while. So it happened that that lady, she stopped at the parking lot. She ordered her food from the store. She went back to her car, and someone came to the parking lot. He shot at the car. So it doesn't have nothing to do with me. And that was the only shooting happened, and the last shooting happened. About if I couldn't reach the neighborhood, I'm always in the neighborhood. I always have communication with the whole neighborhood. And maybe I couldn't reach the older woman. I spoke with her one first time, and She told me that's what I have to do, just correct the violation and stuff, which is I did. I did correct it. So I tried my best. Then I tried to correct all the violation, the one I have on the board. Then I thought I did my best.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask for questions and I have a couple myself, so I'll start off. So you said you corrected all the violations and did your best. You heard from the zoning administrator's office that you are still in violation of two items, which are the tobacco products and the machines blocking the windows. So you are not corrected on all the violations. So what do you plan on doing with those two items?
I will remove them right now. It's gonna be gone immediately.
Okay. And then my second question is you heard Alderwoman Saunier testify. We have a letter from the Neighborhood Association, which is in opposition. You know that by the conditional use, you cannot be a nuisance property in relation to ordinance 68535 or successor ordinances. How do you respond to that? How will you respond to that testimony from the alderwoman and the neighborhood? What is your plan there?
Yeah, I've been open for like almost like 2 years, 3 years. It's a lot of change happened in that store since 3 years. When I just came over there was drug dealers selling drugs outside the parking lot. I have to get rid of everything, which is I put myself in a risk fighting those people, being treated in a gunpoint many times. I have videos, I have all that stuff, but I never give up and leave. I stopped, I removed all those people, I cleaned the parking lot. If they stay in the gas station or around, that's not my problem. But what I deal with my interest, my pocket. They don't stay there. If they someone outside, which is they're waiting for their food to be cooked and ready. But any like issues lately, it never happened.
Okay. At this time, I'm gonna go ahead and open the floor up for other questions for our conditional use permit holder by the other board members. Any questions from any of our board members? Seeing none, I just want to close with this comment, Mr. Alfarsi, and I think this is important for you to understand, is that the area that you operate your business in is zoned for, other things. And so this conditional use allows you to operate in that neighborhood and to cooperate with that neighborhood. And so, I cannot speak for the board and I won't speak for the board at this time, other than to tell you that assuming you would go on and do business, you need to cooperate with, your alder, you need to cooperate with your neighborhood association. You need to do whatever it takes to, have your business fit into that district, that zoned area in conjunction with all of, the conditions of this permit. And, that means going above and beyond to make that happen. So I will ask you point blank, are you committed to do that?
Sure, I will, of course. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Any further questions before we move on? Seeing none, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, if there's anyone in opposition to this revocation who wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. So if you are present and you are opposed to revoking this conditional use and you wish to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. I don't see anyone else on the screen. I don't see anyone else in the chat. Michelle, again, I'm assuming the gentleman in the room with you is not here to testify.
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Alfarsi, can you please mute yourself at this time? Thank you. Seeing none, this matter concerning hearing number 130808-RH is now closed and submitted. The board will deliberate this matter after the remaining agenda items. At this time, I'll ask Secretary to please call the roll.
Director Coyle. Director Davis is excused. Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Patel.
Aye.
Director Pearson.
Present.
Director Williams.
Present.
President Bratton.
Present, we have a quorum. I will call this meeting to order.
Regular business. From the President, recommendation that approval be given as follows. Addendum number 2 to the plans and specifications for letting number 8779. Tower Grove Connector, Phase 1, BPS project number R20214018. Federal project number CMAC 9901, which is being issued to clarify questions submitted by prospective bidders and to indicate changes described and shown in the plans and specifications. Consent of the City of St. Louis to have its Freedom Suit Memorial designated as an official site in the National Underground Railroad Network to Freedom Program of the National Park Service. Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Agreement, Supplemental Agreement number 5. By and between the City of St. Louis and the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for the Jefferson Avenue improvements. Project number CMAC 5617, authorized by ordinance 71095. Missouri Historical Society requests the Board of Public Service to accept artifact donations to add to the city's collection and the Soldiers Memorial Military Museum. PSA number 1282, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing design services at St. Louis Lambert International Airport with Webb Engineering Services, Inc. for the maximum agreement amount of $450,000 for 3 years. Plans and specifications for letting number 8782, concrete, brick removal, replacement, and complete sidewalk installation, BPS project number SP-122. The estimated cost of this work is $900,000, authorized and funded by multiple accounts. Port lease agreement, PN 44, Continental Cement, a lease agreement with the City of St. Louis and Continental Cement Company, LLC, for 10 years with 1 10-year and 1 5-year mutual option for approximately 20,225 square feet of land and 595 linear feet of mooring privileges appurtenant at the annual base rent of $27,903.75 with a 3% annual escalator on the City of St. Louis unapproved wharf. Supplemental agreement number 1 to PSA number 1269, construction, supervision, and material testing for the reconstruction of Taxi Lane Charlie from Taxiway Sierra to Taxiway Golf at St. Louis Lambert International Airport with Kwame and Green JV. This supplemental agreement in the amount of $2,993,803 is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by ordinance number 71657. Supplemental agreement number 1 to PSA number 1271, open-ended architectural design, drafting, and estimated services at St. Louis Lambert International Airport with EXP US Services, Inc. This supplemental agreement in the amount of $467,699.15 is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by ordinance number 71801. Supplemental agreement number 2 to PSA number 1238, on-call traffic engineering services with Lockmuller Group, Inc. This supplemental agreement is amended to modify the contract time. No additional funds are encumbered by this supplemental agreement. From the Office of Special Events, request for the following to be approved, subject to certain conditions. There are 8 special events to be declared as festival zones. Number 1, Mardi Gras 12th night will take place in Soulard Streets and Parks on January 6, 2025 from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Number 2, Mardi Gras Family Winter Carnival will take place in Soulard Market Park and Plaza on January 18, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Number 3, Mardi Gras Scavenger Hunt will take place in Soulard Market Park and Plaza on February the 8th, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Number 4, Mardi Gras Cajun Cook-Off will take place in Soulard Market Park and Plaza on February the 15th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on February the 14th at 8 a.m. and end on February the 17th by 8 p.m. Number 5, Mardi Gras 5K Run will take place in Soulard Streets and Parks on February the 22nd, 2025 from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Number 6, Mardi Gras Taste of Soulard will take place in Soulard Market Park and streets throughout Soulard on February the 22nd and February the 23rd, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Setup and tear down will start at 10 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. Number 7, Mardi Gras Purina Pet Parade will take place in the streets and parks in Soulard on February the 23rd, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Setup and tear down will start at 6 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. Number 8, Mardi Gras Bud Light Grand Parade will take place in the streets and parks throughout Soulard on March 1st, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Setup and tear down will start on February the 28th at 8 a.m. and end on March 2nd at noon. A detailed list of street closures is in the permit. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action for the following: inline turbidum meters, chlorine analyzer collaboration and maintenance at the water division facilities. Equipment used to analyze the water must be in excellent working condition and maintained to original equipment manufacturer standards. The estimated cost of this work is $110,000. Installation of a security fence for propane tanks in the pipe yard. The estimated cost of installation is $9,875. Repairs to boilers 1 and 2 at the Harbor Bend Water Treatment Plant. This work is necessary to get the boilers running quickly and efficiently for the heating season and to ensure they operate smoothly for years to come. The estimated cost of this work is $13,000. Various vehicle repairs at Crans Body Company. The estimated cost of installation is $30,978.88. From the Director of Public Safety and Utilities, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Altea LLC to subdivide the vacant residential lot at 2637 Accomack Street in City Block 1351. Request by Stark Inc. and THD Design Group to subdivide the existing lot at 4253 Humphrey Street in City Block 4153. Request by AC Electric Lab Investment LLC to adjust the boundary at 1367 South Kings Highway Boulevard in City Block 3998. Request by DMG Investments LLC and Stocks and Associate Consulting Engineers Inc. to consolidate lots 21 through 27 and part of 28 of the Ellen Davis addition at 3901 Forest Park Avenue in City Block 3919. From the Directors of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Kate Haher for public improvements at 4704 McPherson Avenue to replace and repair the existing sidewalk and curb. Request by MSD and Kaskaskias Engineering Group for public improvement at 2605 Washington Boulevard to repair an existing manhole and replace approximately 40 feet of 2x3 brick sewer. Joint recommendation that one application from ADB be approved subject to certain conditions. Application number 117 for 3919 South First Street. Joint recommendation that 6 applications from AT&T be approved subject to certain conditions. Application number 105 for 1218 South 18th Street. Application number 114 for 10840 Riverview Drive. Application number 120 for 5696 Kingsbury Avenue. Application number 122 for 665 South Skinker Boulevard. Application number 147 for 915 North Grand Avenue. Application number 159 for 6001 Edmond Avenue. Joint recommendation that 3 applications from Charter be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 99 for 5010 San Francisco Avenue. Application number 111 for 409 North Tucker. Application number 121 for 4621 Holly Hills Avenue. We have 7 conditional use permits from the Director of Public Safety.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, and members of the board. My name is Steve Narr, zoning plan examiner for the city. And I'll be representing the building commissioner at today's meeting. For board order number 766 transmitted herewith are recommendations for the following conditional use applications. Recommendation of 5 conditional use permits be approved, subject to certain conditions. 6917 South Broadway, 4385 Bates Avenue, 2714 Lafayette Avenue, 3416 Cherokee Street, and 2327 Gravois Avenue. And we have recommendation that 2 conditional use permits be denied. 2709 to 13 Marcus Avenue and 4661 Virginia Avenue.
Thank you, Steve. Are there any questions on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve the conditional uses as submitted.
Second.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle, Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Thank you. All right, hearing number 130808-RH, which is a continuation for Sam's Southern Eatery, CO Zachariah Farsi, occupy 3505 Gravois Avenue, operate an existing carry-out sit-down restaurant, adding convenience store with no outside seating or liquor. We heard from the zoning administrator that all of the conditions have been cleared up that were in question except condition 4, which is issues with sale of tobacco products, and condition number 15, which is windows, doors being blocked by gaming machines. We heard from Alderwoman Saunier that she is in support of the revocation due to issues that have transpired at the noted establishment. I will also mention that she referenced a letter which from our past meeting dated September 16th, 2024 from the Tower Grove East Neighborhood Association President Chris Nafzinger, supporting the revocation of the conditional use permit. We then heard from our conditional use permit holder, Mr. Al Farsi, and he explained cleaning up the other conditions and that he would resolve these 2 conditions and explain the issue concerning the shooting from his perspective. And then there was no one in opposition to testify. So with that brief history, I'm going to open the floor up for discussion.
I do have a question just for precedent. Is there precedence for the board voting opposite of what the alderperson would recommend?
So what I would say is, obviously it's an elected official who represents the neighborhood, and Alderwoman Saunier had very strong feelings, obviously from her testimony at both meetings. I will also, again, remind you, the Neighborhood Association wrote a letter and opined on this as well. And beyond that, I will remind you that if we were to do a revocation today, that the conditional use permit holder has the opportunity to appeal this to the Board of Adjustment. So this is not a closed door if we decide to do that. But I think generally what I have seen over the years is that if an alderperson and their neighborhood groups are that opposed to something, generally the board supports that.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? All right. If there's no other questions or other comments, is there a motion?
Based upon the Alderwoman's letter, the prior appearance in front of this board, and the concerns that persist with the ability for Mr. El Farsi to appeal, I make a motion for a revocation.
Second.
I have a motion for revocation and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask Secretary to please call the roll. Michelle, you're muted.
Thank you. Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, revoked. Thank you. I'd like to move on to the next item, which is the meeting minutes from November 19th, 2024. Are there any questions or comments on the meeting minutes as submitted? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
So move, Pearson.
Second, Patel.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the meeting minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions or comments on today's BPS meeting agenda? We had a long agenda today because we didn't have a meeting last week, so there's one comment for you. Any other comments?
I don't have a comment about the agenda, but could you repeat the bid totals from Helen?
Yes, I sure can. So Superior Industrial Coatings, I'm not gonna spell them if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
$1,075,846.60. TPC Infrastructure, $763,486.50.
Mm-hmm.
And Sticka Brothers Construction, $868,574.00.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions about today's agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve Williams.
So move, Pearson.
Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's meeting agenda is approved. Thank you. Are there any comments, further comments before we adjourn today's meeting? Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We're back to it for a couple weeks, and then Michelle will remind you that the meetings of the meeting cancellation in the Christmas week, she'll remind you of that ahead of time. So again, you'll get another break with your family. If there's no further comments, I'll call for a motion to adjourn, please.
So
So
moved.
move Williams.
There a second?
Second.
Thank you, directors. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, meeting adjourned. Thank you
Thank
all. Have a
you.
nice day.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you all.